So this message is deep for me because I am convinced, very convinced, that we were programmed to work against our own people. Babylon even programmed us to not like our own people. And I have every authority to talk about this. And I'm gonna just say I'm thankful that I'm even able to feel it because I'm able to learn. Certain people are conditioned to just not listen to someone unless they don't look like you. You see? Some people are just conditioned to that, oh, they're a higher authority because they're not black. The stereotypes, the programming has really done a number on our people, man. They programmed us to go against our own people. You got women out here, you got men out here that do not like their own people, that do not love their own people. And like I said, me, Ajamandan, I'm liable to speak on these things. Everyone can't speak on these things because they ain't gonna speak their truth. I speak my truth. So I can see how the programming was done on a black man to make it seem like if you was to go outside of yourself, that things will be better. I can see how the black woman keeps recycling and going through the same process. Here and gone, there then left, there then left. I can see the programming. Because y'all was conditioned to not love your own people. Some women were programmed to hate black men. To that they're always gonna do you bad. They're always gonna do you wrong. They're always gonna leave you. They're always gonna hit on you. They're always gonna hurt you. You've been programmed to not know the difference. You've been programmed to realize, to think that when someone's actually trying to help you, that they got something up their sleeve. What's up, Dale? When someone actually loves you, you thinking that they got multiple partners because they showing too much love. Oh, they showing way too much love. They gotta have somebody else. They hiding something. Programmed. Even some of our men have been programmed by some Jezebel spirits. Programmed, I think that looking outside of yourself, things are just automatically supposed to get better. You have a better life, materialistic things. I can speak on both of these things, both of these subjects. And I stand here today to say no more would I. No more would I. I will not allow Babylon to program my mind to go against my people. This has had nothing to do with a race war, because that's what they want. They want a race war. But I speak just like Muhammad Ali did. We live in the same times. I don't want my people to be mixing, because the mixing brings unhealed trauma. The mixing brings confusion, delusion, illusions. And we sit back and just think like, oh, yep, everything's okay. Yep, it's just, oh, I can like whoever I like. No, it's an abomination. You see, in the Bible and in these certain books, they say that sex is an abomination. It should be an abomination to mix race. You want to talk about all the other stuff that's an abomination, it should be an abomination to mix race. Because I see the programming. I see the programming. People can say, oh, you people just love who they love. No, that's bull. That you was programmed. You was programmed to look outside of yourself. You was programmed to not like your mirror, your opposite, quote unquote, or your twin, quote unquote. I appreciate the subscription. I appreciate the love and the light. I appreciate all of you guys. But I understand that the programming is real, bro. Like, the programming is so real when it comes down to looking outside of yourself and the programming of not liking your own people. I only speak to my people right now because I'm sick and tired of the programming. I'm a black man living in America, and we already been put down. That's not even an excuse no more. Like, I don't even want to go there. But I realize the program and the illusions, the delusions, and the, you know what I'm saying? So much, what do you call it? Criticism. So much, what do you call it? Statistics. They want us to be part of statistic every time. They'll do everything in their power to put us in a statistic. Every single time, whether it's in jail, whether it's in the job, whether it's the drugs, whether it's in the relationship, they'll do everything in their power to say, yep, I told you he was going to do that. Yep, I told you he was going to do that. I told you he was a liar. I told you he was a cheater. I told you he was going to leave you. I told you he was no good. And it'd be your own people saying these same things about their own people. See, there's a difference between having a conversation within a relationship and things of that nature within someone is saying their piece. That's different. But that's not what's going on. It's pillow talking, gossip, speaking behind people's back, thinking that they'll never find out. What's that old meme? Oh, they'll never know. How would they know? They'll never know. Yeah, exactly. Programmed your mind to make you believe, oh, you can do anything. You can do whatever. They'll never find out. Okay. Keep thinking. Keep thinking that they won't find out. Good luck, because karma is real. Karma is a real thing. And we gonna sit back and sit on this, because Babylon is under judgment right now. Babylon is under major judgment right now. And I chat down Babylon right now along with it. There will be no more programming to our people. I can understand if the two people are unequally yoked. I can overstand that. But there's also a program that goes into people being unequally yoked. You allow that family member to talk in your ear. You allow that sister to talk in your ear. You allow that brother to talk in your ear. You allow your inner self to speak negativities to your brain. You allowed yourself from job. You allowed yourself to not eat right. You allowed yourself to not ground yourself. You allowed yourself to not go within your natal chart. But I overstand the programming of Babylon as well. We're not going to sit back. I'm not sit back and saying, no more excuses. No, we're not going to sit here and just say, yeah, Babylon did it to us and this and that. No, you have a choice. You have a choice whether you say, you know what, I love them, but we just unequally yoked. That's cool. That's fine. But there's a certain energy that comes, a certain vibration of hate that comes when someone is not saying, no, it's okay. It's all right. We'll just talk about it. We'll just have an equal balance, an understanding, overstanding. But then, if these understanding, overstanding is not happening, there's a thing called hate. There's a thing called envy. There's a thing called people being malicious, envious. I think I said it already. Conniving, hidden. Excuse me. And I understand, overstand the spiritual warfare that has been put on our people as a black man, as a black woman. It is ridiculous how much programming we have to, and reprogramming we have to do within our mind, our subconscious mind, in our daily life that we have to do. Or that you should be doing, the spiritual work. Because everybody ain't doing the spiritual work. Everybody ain't doing the spiritual work. Everybody is not doing the spiritual work. You see, only flies only come around when the message is coming out truthfully. I understand, overstand that me, being one with the Most High, I will no longer do that. Me. Because I'm seeing that my spiritual work is that alchemy that overcomes that programming that Babylon did to put on our people. But if you are not doing your spiritual work, if you're not doing your proper spiritual work, we're not talking about, oh, I meditate, or I do some breath work, I stretch, I somewhat eat right. No, and no. Because you're not understanding, overstanding the trauma, the programming, the deepness to it, to the fact that you have way more spiritual work to do to overcome the programming and traumas. I understand, overstand that there's a lot of spiritual work that I have to do to overcome the programming that Babylon has done to I and I. And within me doing my spiritual work, I'm seeing the benefits. I understand, overstand the benefits. It's a clarity. It's a consciousness. It's a clarity. It's a consciousness. I understand, overstand it. We cannot sit back here and allow these same things to keep happening to us without doing the spiritual. If we do the spiritual work, none of this stuff can keep happening to us. But if we sit back and just allow it to happen, good luck. Because I have no remorse at this point anymore. I have no remorse. I have no remorse. If you're sitting there saying, I don't want to do the spiritual work, I want to halfway do things, but want to receive 100% of the blessings, good luck. You got people out here that don't want to do the spiritual work, but want all the blessings. That is not balance. That is not balance. That is not true balance. We've been programmed to think that, yeah, I can just go outside and I can do the bare minimum and just, we were not meant to be average. We was not meant to be average. But we live in Babylon. Where they put you lower than the lowest. So how do you think you're even supposed to see yourself? You see? I understand, overstand that there's a programming that has been put on our people to the point where you have to do the spiritual work. It is up to you. I have no remorse at this point. Babylon is falling. We see what's happening to this world. We live now in the end days. My name is Ajaman Dan from the tribe of Dan. I came here in the last little bit of Babylon falling to speak the truth, to call judgment. And if our people do not do the spiritual work, the proper spiritual work, not because they want the benefits, no, because they know that there's been a programming, there's a soul calling to say, I need to overcome this, not just for I and I, but for the generations ahead, for my future, for my children, for myself, of course, for my bloodline. But like I said, it's up to you. I understand, overstand. There's been a programming put inside of my mind, our mind, to say, go outside of yourself. There's nothing within you. You're good. You don't have to ground yourself today. You don't have to write your affirmations today. You don't have to eat good today. You don't have to be disciplined and not watch certain stuff today. No. You ain't got to go live today. You good. You good. You can just sit down and chill today. You could just relax, just sit around. No. No and no and no and no and no. That is a demon. That is not highly vibrational. When you get a sense inside of your body to say relax, chill, that is a demon. We are living in the last days, going into the new earth Zion. We are in the fourth quarter. We is not supposed to be chilling. We are in the fourth quarter. When in life or any game or anything, when the game was very close and it's the fourth quarter, 5 seconds left, when do you chill? You don't chill. You go in. It is time for us to go in on our spiritual gifts, our spiritual life, our true alchemy as a people. And this is what I understand, overstand. Abundance. When you tap into when you start to lock in with your spiritual gifts, it's called abundance. It's not money. It's not just money. Abundance is not money. Abundance is the clarity. Abundance is when you raise your consciousness. Abundance is being able to ground yourself today. Abundance is saying, I'm able to still write my affirmations and speak my affirmations today. Jah gave me the breath of life today again. That is abundance. But you got these people out here that dilute abundance, that make it seem like, oh, it's just money. My money coming in. Yep, my money coming in. That's not true abundance. I understand, overstand. That is a seriousness to the programming that's been put on our people. And it will not stand. I will not allow it to stand. Not with I and I. Not with I and I. I can understand that if individuals are individually, unequally yoked. I can understand, overstand that. But that don't mean you have to hate. That don't mean you have to hate that person. You don't have to hate that person. Y'all just unequally yoked. You don't have to hate that person. But we've been programmed to hate that person, even if you don't have things in common. Even if they don't do things that you say or that you like. So what? But there's a difference between hating someone and realizing, oh, we just unequally yoked. Babylon program you to hate, to envy, to guilt trip. I bring judgment to all that right here, right now. No more. No more of it. It will not stand. It will not stand. Going into the new earth Zion, it will not stand. Because at the end of the day, we see, oh, brother and sister in fight. People, have their disagreements, and then what? Come back together, and it's okay. But in Babylon programming, disagreements, there's no coming back from disagreements. And if you want to say Babylon, it's all or nothing. We fight, I end you, and that's how I that's it. There's no, oh, fight, shake hands, and there's no fighting anymore. Ain't no fighting. They trying to kill out here, and that's it. Yep, No, the programming is done. It's over with. Programming is done and over with. Babylon, you will not win. Well, we already know the war. We already won the war, but we're still fighting the war. We're in the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter. It's not time not to be alchemizing. And keep thinking that you're manifesting. You're manifesting backwards. Because you're doing the bare minimum. You're doing a half job. You see? I understand that when you do a half job, I'm coming from my own experience, you actually cause more confusion. Because you know that you're doing a half job. I understand. When I was just listening to frequency music, that was a half job. Because I was not grounding myself. I was not meditating. I was just thinking I can listen to meditation music, and I could just, I can just listen to frequency music, and that's it. That is a half job. I take accountability. Are you? Are you doing a half job? Are you really trying your best? See? I understand. This is seriousness. And I don't care at this point. I don't care who I hurt, who I offend. It's judgment time. It is judgment time. And the Most High, no one is perfect. But I know when I'm going through something, I know who I talk to. So I know that there's nothing that I can hide from the Most High. Nothing I'm trying to hide from the Most High. The Most High sees all. And I'm okay with that. I've spoken my truth. Have you? Right. I understand. It's a programming. And it's a seriousness. A program seriousness to the mind of what they have done to our people. And even our own people have done it. You know what I'm saying? You can't really blame our own people because they stem from, it comes from somewhere. So I understand. I cannot look at my own people and blame them for the programming. I look directly at Babylon and say, you did it. I'm not going to blame my people for what you did. But then you got others that blame their people for what Babylon did. How you going to blame me for what Babylon programming did to your mind? How can you blame the next? How can you blame that woman? How can you blame that man? How can you blame that mom, that dad, that uncle, that auntie, that grandma, that grandpa, that cousin, that sister, that brother? How can you blame them for what Babylon did to them? Blame Babylon. Forgive your sister. Forgive your brethren. Forgive your mother. Forgive your father. Forgive your auntie, your uncle, your cousin. Because Babylon did that programming. Not them. See? Rastafari.